We are running.
Is there a way to measure a person's capacity from the day they're born and say they could end up being an Elon Musk type of a guy? This person could end up being like a Churchill or Alexander Hamilton. Is there a way to measure that? Can I be born more negative than you?
Humans make choices. When you make choices, it becomes part of our DNA. You putting it out in the world, and what you say, it's passing through the sperm and the ova. So when you were born with you, plus things from your parents, generations back, whatever. So you've got a bunch of imperfection on top of perfection. You can't be born more negative, but what you can have, which is total science, your DNA will come through from your parents. So it goes through the sperm and the ova. Let's say now your parents were depressed, and you've got a history of people being very depressed in your family, or very negative, just depressed. A negative, depressed, like people that just, you know, or you see the glass half empty. So now you're born with that, those mutated genes on top of your genes. But here's the great news. They're born with them asleep. They're dormant. It's called dormancy. What's dormant is what's passed through the generations. So it's the stuff that came through the sperm and the ova. It's the imperfect genes on top of the genes. So it's mixed in amongst your genome is your genome, which is active. Otherwise you couldn't be alive. And then you've got interwoven on top of that, you have your stuff that's come through the generations. Coming through dormant, which means it's sealed, it's closed, it's not active. How do you wake it up? With your perception, your response, your mind, how you think, feel, and choose. So now a child's growing up in all this child hears is negativity. All this child sees is arguing, fighting, etc. That is now environmental influence coming in. The child's still learning, so the child can't maybe make such good decisions. So the child's immersed in negativity. So now the environment's negative. That then wakes up the dormant genes, and that could start manifesting. And then you start seeing patterns of behavior in the child becoming negative. If I have now more than 63 days constantly thought in a certain way, I have built a very strong tree in my brain. That's why I've got trees here. A tree is a thought. Our thoughts are real things. They look like trees. They occupy mental real estate. They're made of proteins. So if someone has done something and they've been doing it for more than 63 days, they have wired a pattern into their brain like a pathway. It looks like a toxic tree. That's why I use this. It's a real protein. It's all computers. And those computers have been very, very established. It takes 21 days to build a long-term memory. It takes 63 days minimum to build a habit, not 21 like we've been told, 63. Anything after that, you're going to expert level. So if I have for 6 years been worrying, I'm an expert warrior. It doesn't mean that's who I am. It's who I've become. So I can unbecome.
How did you find out about 63 instead of 21 days?
That's memory research. So it's basically what we see is your body works in cycles of healing. So if you have a blister, you'll find that it takes, for example, 21 days to more or less, I mean, it could be 23, it could be 20, it could be 19, but it's in that region. We see that it takes cycles of that to heal. Dr. Marion Diamond showed how the little branches that are made of millions of computers that hold your memories as vibrations on the tops of the trees, that over time the branches change shape. It takes 21 days for the branches to reach a certain shape, and when they reach that certain shape, they're made of proteins that are what we call self-sustainable.
So that person that's born with a different perception of the world, can I be raised with a perception of the world where I'm always looking at the glass half empty, or can that still be fixed for somebody?
That can be fixed. At any stage, I can recognize, you can train a person very easily to stand back, observe their own thinking, because it's neuroscience, it's how we are designed, it's quantum physics, it's all of that. You can stand back and observe your own thinking. What can I do today? Active reach.
Got it.
And active reach is, I wake up and I'm worrying. As I worry, as that hits me in the face, I'm going to say, okay, this worry I can't deal with now, I'm going to deal with tonight. So now it's 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll deal with it 6 o'clock tonight. As you go through the day,
your worries.
It is that, but also what happens is you take the energy away from the worry. Every thought you build is a real living thing. It has energy, it's firing energy. So if I take this worry, toxic, and I say, okay, keep quiet, you're in a box, I'm not going to deal with you, and you discipline yourself not to think about it, and by the time 6 o'clock tonight comes, 12 hours later, that thing's lost energy. Research shows that 95% of our worries
What are you going to do with the time you have left? I say,